Okay, so the simple question in this video is this. Is Final Cut Pro worth it on subscription for the iPad? Now, before I go any further, let me just get the pricing out the way clearly, and I will use the US for these prices. So it is $4.99 per month on subscription, or a yearly subscription, which is basically $50. On the $50 one, there's essentially like a monthly trial base thrown into that for the first month by the looks of it, but nonetheless, it's essentially $50 per year. Now, immediately, I have a problem with that, and that's because on Mac OS it is a one-off fee, and okay, it might be $300 for that, but there's a number of ways of looking at that as well. First one is, when you get into a piece of video editing software, you're likely to stay with that for a very long time. So in that instance, if you're using Final Cut Pro on Mac OS and you use it all the time and it is your main video editing software, then that $300 is probably going to end up being fantastic value for money over time. Now, don't get me wrong, you wouldn't be expecting to pay $300 for the iPad app version of it, but nonetheless, there should be, as far as I'm concerned, a buyout price for the software on iPad, just so that you know that once you invest into it, it is yours to continue working with for as long as you want to, without having to pay any further money after that point. Now, some people out there are going to say, well, do you know what? It's really good because I can just take it as and when I want on a monthly basis, or if after a year I don't like it, then I don't have to resubscribe to it. And they are fair points, but it's highly unlikely that anybody who is already using FCP on Mac OS is going to ditch it once they start using it on iPad anyway. Now, there is other video editing software available for the iPad, which has got much better pricing for it, and I think this is more the reason why I think that this subscription model for FCP just isn't very good. And that piece of software is this one here, and this is Resolve. Now, the thing with this, I think it's like $95, to buy it outright. So if you look at that, that's the equivalent of 2 years of paying for FCP on the iPad. However, there is also a free version of Resolve for the iPad, which is like got tons and tons of features on it. It's actually a really well accomplished piece of software in the free version. So that also brings me to the other question. Why haven't Apple done a free alternative, like a free stripped down version of FCP for the iPad? So for me, these things are starting to make this subscription model look really dodgy as far as I'm concerned. And of course, there are other video editing packages available on iPad as well. Now, some of those are just one-off payment types and others are subscription based. However, when we're talking FCP, I think it's probably fair to say that the only real competition with it is going to be Resolve. So using Resolve as the yardstick, and the fact that, one, you can get a fully fledged free version of it, which basically does mostly everything you need to do, or it's only going to cost you less than $100 to completely own it outright, then that's basically reinforcing my opinion that this subscription model by Apple really isn't the best thing for FCP. And if I've got to be pushed to make a point on this, I just think that this is Apple being slightly greedy as well. Okay, so that's basically it for this video, because I just wanted to do this as short as possible and stay on one clear point. Basically, what I'm doing here is taking a few tips from my transatlantic YouTube Bezzy, Tone from Tone's Adventures HD, because he's recently been doing shorter videos, and I'm thinking maybe that's what I should be doing as well. Anyways, that will do it for this video. So let me know in the comments section below, do you think that this subscription model is good value for money as far as FCP is concerned on the iPad? Or do you think similarly to what I do, which is, one, there should have been a free alternative, and two, there should have just been a low-cost single payment version of the software for the iPad. Anywho, I'm David Harry. Thank you very much for watching this video. Take care and goodbye now.